Hey, budding international champs from Delhi to Mumbai, London to New York, and everywhere else in between. Welcome to Study Abroad Diaries. Here, we embark on a journey to get into the minds of those who have been there, done that. Why? So that you can have the best shot at your dream college, your dream university to get you on the right path. Study Abroad Diaries is basically like a cheat code in your study abroad journey. So, what are you waiting for? Let's get started. So how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling. Am I supposed to be honest?
Yeah, you can be completely honest with me.
I'm actually very stressed because I have an 8 a.m. class and I have to work with my group. I have to pull off an all nighter today, so I'm kind of like all worked up, if that makes sense.
But it's also the part of the grind. These are the things that you actually would
Yeah,
cherish later on. Like you're actually working
that's
on
true.
something. But I
Yeah,
completely
that's true.
understand. Been there, done that.
Yeah, I get it completely. With there are some days when you just don't want to do that, it just becomes a routine and you want some time for yourself, but you don't get it. So it gets frustrating at times.
So yeah, just before we start with the main thing, like I just wanted to
Yeah.
go through a quick intro that I managed to get it from your, and like just a quick Google search so that the listeners, the viewers get a
Mm-hmm.
basic sense of who you are, like who am I currently talking to,
Okay.
like just a
Yeah,
short
yeah,
intro.
sure thing.
Uh, Tanvi Kokate is a budding UI UX user interface and user experience designer studying Masters of Fine Arts at Savannah College of Fine Arts and Design. Before that, she did a Bachelor's of Technology from Vidya Lankar Institute of Technology, Mumbai, and is currently associated with Deloitte SCAD Pro as a visual designer. She also believes in giving it back to the society, as shown by virtue of her being part of UNICEF Young Warriors, Team Everest NGO, and other social endeavors.
Actually, I was just trying to, mix methods while I was in the last year of my engineering. I was trying to figure what suits me the best because I was not really a coding person. It's like I can code, but I'm not really passionate about it. So I was just trying out things and seeing what works best for me. And that's when I started off with web development. I also worked for ID abroad for like, it was like an internship, for a very short period. And that's how I came to know about this UI UX thingy that, okay, there is a design aspect to technology too. So why not just explore this? And happened to be that so I took up this Google UX certification to learn more about it because I thought that could be a potential field I would love to work in the future. And that's when I came to know that I had a subject called human computer interaction in my last semester of my engineering degree, which also talked about UI UX. So, it was just complementing each other in some way. I was learning about UI UX from this Google certification, and at the same time, I'm able to implement it in my college. So that just made me get more inclined towards design in general.
So why Savannah College? How did you end up studying at Savannah, and why exactly Savannah?
Uh, Honestly, I'd never heard of SCAD before, but on being introduced to SCAD and its curriculum by Manvi ma'am, it became an option to consider. Mainly because of the curriculum, it was a full-fledged, rigorous yet detailed design curriculum. And the immediate reflex I had on looking at it was like, oh, it's so interesting because it's so detailed. That's how I ended up at SCAD.
So it was basically an impulse decision on your end. Like it just happened. It wasn't like pre-planned.
No, it was never pre-planned. It was very last moment, and actually, SCAD was not even going to be on my list because I have never heard of it before, right? So nobody wants to go to college where what which you don't know exists. So just like that, I didn't want to pursue anything at SCAD, but then Mani ma'am did emphasize more on it, and then I really considered like, okay, if she's saying so, I should really go have a look at the curriculum at least, and then the decision would be all mine if I have to do anything at all. But when I looked at it, it was like very interesting to me. And now I feel it was the best decision I made because had I been into any other colleges on my list, every other college that I applied to, I don't think I'd be enjoying it that much.
So I'm glad that the decision, that the risk, the leap of faith you take actually paid off. Hindsight is a
Yeah, that's true.
hindsight is a wonderful thing. If you could go back and give your pre-Savannah self any one piece of advice before starting your program, what it would be?
Oh, I wish I could do that for you. I think the one thing I'd do is reassure myself that everything will pan out well in the future. That, you know what, you're worrying for nothing. You're going to be, a completely different person in ways you find irrational right now. In general, I've changed a lot, I feel, in a good way, obviously. I feel like I've become more responsible. It's unrealistic at times. And I feel I'm just surprising myself every day academically and emotionally as well. So yeah.
Like you just mentioned right now that you're on a all-nighter. Is that a regular occurrence or is this a one-off thing?
So I'm doing a SCAD Pro with Deloitte this quarter, and I used to pull off an all-nighter in the last quarter as well when I was taking three normal classes. But I think that was more because it was my first quarter and I was not used to the pressure. But now, since I'm working on a full-time project with Deloitte, it is like a very full-time thingy. So I have to work it off. And basically, I used to have classes 4 days a week, but now it's 5 days a week. So yeah, that's little hectic because I don't get the weekend for myself. Even on the weekends, I'm working on some other things.
So, would you agree that the best thing to counter it, to be best prepared for it, to prepare yourself beforehand for all this? So, what all preparation should students do before going to Savannah College of Arts? Any budding designers? If you could give any tips to them.
Um, Quite honestly, I didn't even know what service design was until I began my program year. I mean, I knew that it's designing services, which is true, but I got the real deal when I came here and I'm doing just fine. I think all it would take is you willing to be open to how differently people approach design, which might feel liberating at first, but it's actually way more challenging than knowing how to do a certain thing straight up. And yes, I mean, the service design program requires a lot of research. Doesn't matter if you're doing an MA or an MFA. Yeah, I don't think I really prepared for it. I just went for it and I'm doing just fine.
So, would you say being open minded and willing to learn new things is the key? Like, just one piece of advice?
Yeah, that's true because it's been working for me pretty well so far.
As you said right now, like it's very difficult doing the balancing act, juggling your portfolio assignments as well as your academics. So, can you share your experience with us in terms of your academic journey as of so far?
Uh, Academic journey, yes. I The very first thing that pops in my head is about the professors here at SCAD. I must say the professors are super resourceful. They're always available whenever I felt stagnant. One thing that I like is you are evaluated and graded on your individual progress, even though you work in groups, and you're basically never compared with the other people in the class. So I think that's what I like the most about SCAD.
So as you said, you had actually no expectations with regards to this course. But एक जनरल होता है ना कि आप इंडिया से यूएस जा रहे हो, तो ये एक दिमाग में एक इमेज
Mhm.
बनी हुई होती है कि हाँ, माई कॉलेज वुड बी लाइक दिस, लाइक द टिपिकल यूएस कैंपस देयर एक्चुअली। हम ख्याली पुलाव
Right.
पुलाव बना रहे होते हैं उसके अंदर अपने
Right.
दिमाग में। सो वर देयर एनी प्री कंसीव्ड नोशंस एंड एक्सपेक्टेशंस आपके एंड से, एंड बाय द एंड ऑफ द ईयर हाउ डिड दीज एक्सपेक्टेशंस इवॉल्व?
Um, it's a good question. Talking about the expectations I had from SCAD, if I'm being very, very honest with you, I had none because I'm somebody who expects things from myself no matter because SCAD, after getting to know about it a bit more, I figured that it is one of the best design schools. So I didn't really have any expectations from SCAD, but from myself that okay, I'm going to SCAD. So what all do I need to better myself when I'm at SCAD? Because no matter what university you go to, it all boils down to your skill set at the end of the day. So I was more into myself, that am I going to be able to do it all? Because I spoke to a lot of seniors before coming here, and they were like, it's very hectic, it's a rigorous program, you have to pull off an all-nighter, sometimes you don't get to have time for yourself, you'll be all burnt out. So I was really worried that, okay, is this what I am, putting myself into? Do I really want all of it? But now that I'm here, I'm doing it all, I feel a lot better, because I have a gist of how things work around. So, not really expectations from SCAD and the campus in general, but more of from myself.
Yeah, so like you're just going with the flow. Or
Yeah, I'm just going with the flow. Yeah. And about,
like in general,
what was the second question you asked?
like also in general, because एक perception होती है ना कि इंडिया की यूनिवर्सिटी से
Mm-hmm.
यूएस की यूनिवर्सिटी में जा रहे हो, so like people
Mm-hmm.
people expect कि एकदम ही 360 डिग्री चेंज आ जाएगा. So in that terms, what did you
Right.
experience?
Mm, actually, can't think of anything. Matlab,
मैं सेम ही था आपके
yeah.
साथ.
Yeah,
Like
it was very similar. मुझे मतलब SCAD से कोई ऐसा expectation नहीं था as a university because I know SCAD is the best. It was just that कि मैं how am I going to groom myself around SCAD? It was all about that.
it was you like trying to cope up and acclimatize with the environment. So that was the basic challenge with you.
Yeah, it was very challenging for me. Yes.
So like UI and UX is a thing, like it's like somewhat new for the general Indian audience, for the general person. Like UI
Mm-hmm.
UX is a thing that they may be using it, but they might not be familiar with it as a core subject, as a core field of study. So what course did you
Mm-hmm.
study, and what are the core skills the course helped you develop? Because you shifted from BTech last year to design specific.
I actually didn't do a BTech degree. I did Bachelor's of Engineering in Computer Science.
Yeah, thanks a lot for correcting me. Like I'm
Yeah.
just in terms of the general shift ना, because आपके जो skills थे, जो
Mm-hmm.
the things that you studied, like they might must be completely different.
Yeah, that's true. Can you please repeat the question again? I lost it.
No problem. What courses did you study, and what are the
Mhm.
core skills the courses helped you develop?
Courses, you mean back in my undergrad or here at SCAD?
Here at SCAD.
You're at SCAD, okay. So I've just been here for 5 months, which is just one quarter, and I'm in the second quarter right now. So the skills which all the courses help me develop, they're more of like soft skills, I'd say, not much of hard skills because first quarter is all about introduction. You're new to design, and me being from an engineering background, it was really difficult for me to cope up with all the designers here because apparently I was the youngest person in my class with one more person. But in most of my class, I'm the youngest person, which also means that I am working with all the people who are industry professionals or who have had many years of experience in the industry, which was really daunting for me, and it used to make me feel like an imposter. But I feel working with these people, I've learned a lot about how you manage a team and how you are able to be open to more perspectives because the more people you work with, there are people from all the cultures, from all the different countries here, and they bring a different kind of mindset to the table in general, not just their views or their perspectives about a certain project, but everything, a whole mindset. So I think I've grown a lot as a person. My soft skills have become a lot better, and I am, open to perspectives and not being without being rigid on my own, if that makes sense. Because, for somebody like me from who comes from an engineering background, working in groups used to be like a very rare thing. And even if we used to work in groups, I think anybody can cover up for somebody who's not being able to work. So it used to be all fine, but for a master's level program, nobody will do that for you. So you have to be responsible for your own thing. And I think that's what I struggle the most with because I'm not used to working in groups. I used to just take things lightly or just, be like, okay, I'll do this later. But to me, something that can wait cannot wait for somebody else. So, you have to get going. So I think I am more disciplined in terms of working, and I don't feel like I'm studying. I feel like I'm actually working while learning at SCAD. It does not make me feel like I have to muck things up or I have to read a lot of books. There's a lot of reading, yes, there's a lot of research, but it's because you have to design a certain product. It's at the end of the day adding to your knowledge. So it's not like you're studying something, it's more of like you're gaining knowledge and then you're applying that at the same time, which I did not really find anywhere in India, because engineering, as we all know, we just do it because we don't know what we're supposed to do in life. That's what I did it for. So, yeah.
काफी relatable. But in terms of you did your bachelor's in computer science, was there anything that it helped you transfer from your bachelor's to the master's? Were there any skills, हार्ड स्किल्स, सॉफ्ट स्किल्स और एनी लाइफ एक्सपीरियंस इन जनरल जो कि आपको लगता है कि हाँ मैंने जो अपना बैचलर्स की थी वो चीज़ अब यहाँ काम आ रही है?
नहीं यार, ऐसे कुछ काम नहीं आ रहा है वैसे तो. I don't think so.
पर वो जो 4 साल का
I know how to code. So the only thing that's keeping me going here is because all the designers, they look up to me because I'm an engineer and I can code.
You can actually deliver it into an actual result, actual output. इसलिए look up करते होंगे ना, as far as I can get it.
Yeah, exactly. But they don't know कि I've been away from coding since a pretty long time now. तो मुझे नहीं आता अभी, मैं भूल चुकी हूँ सब. But it's okay, as long as it keeps me going, it helps me flaunt. So it's okay. That's the only thing that's up with my. I mean, that's the only thing that's been transferred.
Like that's basically your party. That's basically a party trick.
Yeah, actually. But if given some time, एक या 2 हफ्ता, if I get with a certain code, I can work it around. So it's not like I don't know it. It's just that there's a lot of gap. बहुत साल का gap हो गया. 1 साल से ज्यादा का गैप हो गया. So I'll not be able to do it right away, but I can do it.
वो थोड़ा टाइम रिफ्रेश करने में लग जाता है नॉलेज को, like.
Yes, that's true. But मुझे ऐसे नहीं लगता कि कोई सॉफ्ट स्किल या कोई मुझे काम आया होगा यहाँ पे, because I feel like I've become a completely different person यहाँ आके. I can't really explain how. मतलब क्या, there are some things which I can pinpoint at, but there are some things which are unexplainable. Even I don't know what has changed, but back in my undergrad, I've been in leadership positions like a public relationship head and event manager. But here, I don't think those skills have helped me anyway, because I started from scratch. And the very first day I had to present here in front of so many people, I have no experience with presentations. I never presented back in my undergrad. I hosted a lot of events, which I was very comfortable with, but presentations in front of a diverse crowd and me being with an Indian accent, it was really daunting. It was like, oh my God, what if people don't understand what I'm trying to say? Or what if people pick at me because I have no experience? And yeah, I have no work experience. I came here after graduating. So it was like a very stressful thing for me that, oh my God, am I doing the right thing? Yeah, I think I started from scratch here. I did no prereqs from my past life has helped me. I mean, from my life before SCAD.
At times you need to start something new from afresh so that you can let old पुरानी चीजों को learning and unlearning. So that's the part of the process. Like.
That's true. I think nothing you learn goes in vain. It's just about knowing when to apply what you've learned. And I think being in this country has helped me in so many ways. Not in a way that I like it, but it has pushed me to evolve. It left me no chance other than change myself or the way I see things, because you are in a different country all by yourself. You can't really say if you have all the good people around you. So you have to be there for yourself when you need it the most. And your work and your work life ka wo jo balance hota hai, you need some time for yourself. You need most of the time to work and to study. So wo balance hona is also important. So it's actually a good thing that
you are growing through what
pushed to. Yeah.
What you were saying right now? Like, I'm sorry, I cut you off. Like, what you were saying right
No,
now?
it's okay. It's okay. So I feel it's important because whatever I've been through in the past or whatever experiences I've had in my undergrad, they definitely helped me as a base. But I had to, add up skills or add up some values to that to actually help myself survive here. Oh, I don't want to make it feel like it's sad being here. It's really nice. It's just that I'm trying to keep it as honest as possible. I don't want to make it all rosy that, what, this is so pretty. Just come to the US. It's all nice. Because no, it's not.
It's not a Yash Chopra film.
Yeah, it's not.
So you said that the culture here is more work oriented. So how would you describe internship opportunities and other practical experiences in and around Savannah, College of Arts and Design?
Mm, did you say employment opportunities?
Internship and employment, like anybody who's come there, he or she wants to work, do an internship, or gain work experience, real life practical experience.
Okay. So I've no clue about the employment opportunities because I feel it all boils to the skill set at the end of the day, and there's some luck factor too. Because I still haven't thought about an internship yet, but about the internship opportunities at SCAD. So, as you know, we have SCAD Pro, right? Wherein the companies like Google, Apple, Deloitte, NASA partner up with SCAD to get SCAD students work on their real life projects. But it's like a class. They don't pay you for anything, but students sign up for it and they do it because obviously they get a lot of exposure, they get to connect with a lot of people. Plus, yeah, it looks really good on your resume.
So you said
Yeah,
that people get to work on real life experiences, make connection, and
yeah.
you also said कि एक जो shift होता है वो बहुत बड़ा shift होता है, तो
Mhm.
you have to actually grow through what you go through, and आपको बहुत बड़ा change आ जाता है. So in your opinion, आप
Mhm.
मतलब you yourself have seen a large shift in yourself, pre
Right,
Savannah to post Savannah, right?
right.
So, in your opinion, what is the most important trait someone would need to be successful in the US education system in
Right off the
general?
bat, time management. It's very important. And I really am bad at it. Very bad. I mean, I don't know how to manage my time well. And the first quarter was so challenging for me because of the very same reason. But now I am just getting a gist of it. I know how to manage my time well. Not really, but yeah, I'm getting there. So definitely time management, because if you don't know where you are putting in your time and if it is not helping you in any way, it's really waste of time. Especially being at SCAD, because I talk to a lot of people from my other, you know,
Other majors.
no, no, not other majors. My friends who are in other colleges, they
Ah,
are not this worked up like how we are at SCAD. They are pretty chill, and they are pursuing their MS and CS and whatnot. Basically, coding. It is supposed to be more rigorous than design, but no, SCAD is really detail oriented. We have assignments. We have regular assignments, so you have to turn them in on time. Otherwise, you lose out on your grade. So design is a continuous process. It takes a lot of energy because you have to be creative 24/7, and it's not possible for humans to be creative. There are humans who pull that off, but me being an engineer, I'm still taking my pretty time to get used to this.
like you need to charge your batteries. मतलब 24 घंटे दिमाग
Yeah.
वो बर्न आउट हो
नहीं
जाता
चलता
है.
बहुत ज्यादा या because everyday assignments, and it all needs you to think a lot. It all needs you to research a lot about that topic. And creativity कभी कभी blocks होता है creativity में भी. You can't always run your brain. I mean, yeah, you can think, but you cannot be creative all the time. कि कभी कभी creative ideas मुझे तो ऐसे आते हैं कि randomly आ जाएंगे while I'm eating, while I'm brushing, कुछ भी. So it's difficult to, keep myself in the loop of creativity. But ठीक है, I am learning, I feel. As long as I'm learning and bettering each day, I'm okay with it.
Like you said that sometimes कि आपको block आ जाते हैं, creative block आ जाती है, you find it difficult to generate ideas to keep the creative juices flowing. So what motivates you to keep going in the tough times of stress and challenge?
Nice question.
Like आप कोपिंग मैकेनिज्म क्या होता है, मतलब जब भी आपको स्ट्रेस फील कर रहे होते हो तो आप व्हाट इज द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट यू गो टू एंड सम अदर थिंग्स या हॉबीज वगैरह जो आप करते हो टू डी स्ट्रेस योरसेल्फ?
To de-stress myself. Okay. This is such a nice question. I don't know how to answer this because I am stressed right now and I don't know what to do about it. But usually, I told you, right? I am the youngest in all my classes, which is like a lot of stress on me. But there are days when, sometimes I tell myself that no matter the background people belong from, we are all in the same place at the end of the day, right? They are at SCAD, I am at SCAD. Then what's the difference? We are in the same place, that means we are learning the same thing. Maybe they are just applying what they've already learned, and I'm learning as I'm growing. So it's okay. But kabhi when I'm working off an all-nighter and then I submit an assignment. And then that assignment, मतलब बहुत छोटी छोटी बातें हैं यहाँ पे आके realize that all the little things make me happy. कुछ भी हो जाए, one little tiny thing that made my day, it remains with me throughout the month or something like that. It's so like I've become very grateful यहाँ पे आके. What was I saying? I'm so sorry. I went on a different tangent.
No, it's not like you said that you आप स्कैड पे हो, जो दूसरे लोग हैं वो भी स्कैड पे हैं, so they are same that you don't feel overwhelmed, you try to learn from them. So
I try to learn from them क्योंकि ऐसा obviously I compare myself a lot with other people क्योंकि उनके पास बहुत experience. I'm the only youngest, right? They're like 32, 35 kind of people. And it's difficult to work in groups with them because they would not listen to somebody who's 22-year-old, who's just graduated, who has no experience, who does not know what design is. So I feel like left out sometimes. But I make sure that when I speak sense. I don't just talk because I have to fill in the gap that okay, my group mein hu, so I have to contribute to the group.
Not saying just for the sake of saying.
I feel like I don't speak for the just for the sake of speaking. I just make sure when I am trying to speak, I get my point through and it's valid, so that they have started valuing me a lot more.
Like there's now weight to your words.
More, but it's still better than first quarter. Yeah, because they all shut up and they listen to me that okay, what does she have to say? And sometimes my ideas are also taken into consideration, which is a good thing. So yeah, I'm learning how to deal with them. So yeah, that's how I make myself feel good that okay, they are experienced, but they are at SCAD, and I am not experienced, and I am still at SCAD. So good, fine. I'll get there. Get there. It's not a big deal. And then when I work on an assignment, I get graded for it. I get good grades. So it just keeps me going. And for example, first quarter, it was so stressful. I didn't know if I could even get through, if I'll be able to survive. कि यार marks आएगा क्या? नहीं आया तो क्या करूँ? But I got a 4 GPA. And I was so happy that, oh my God, okay, great. So it makes me feel good that it all paid off. इंडिया में उल्टा होता था मेरे साथ. No matter how much ever I work hard, the favorite kid of the professor is going to get a nice grade.
Recognition नहीं मिलता था
basically. To be left alone. Sorry?
You basically didn't get recognized for your efforts, you are basically saying.
Yeah, I am recognized for my efforts. Yeah, and the professors are really good at it. I mean, you might think that they don't notice you work, but they always see you work in class and you're evaluated just based off on what you put on the table, not what your group does or what you do in a group, but what you as an individual do in the class. So that's a really good thing. And the professors, they also give you constructive criticism, They have weekly check-ins with you. You get to ask them questions. They get to tell you that what more do you need to improve. And they're always so friendly. They'll never, pick at you for something. Even if you stuck to... Sorry, am I supposed to use that word?
No, you can, no problem. No problem.
Even if I am really bad at something today and I make a slightest betterment tomorrow, I'll still be graded nicely because I am learning and they can see that I am applying whatever I've learned. So yeah, it's a really good thing. But the grading system is also critical because you won't get graded just like that. So it has to be just right, if you know what I mean.
It has to be earned. You can't just mug it up and like just
Yeah, it
exam
has
के
to
time
be
पे निकाल
earned.
दिया and you get the grade regardless of what whether you have learned or not. सिर्फ पढ़ते भी
That's
हो
true.
या is there something else like do you go out to restaurants, drink coffee, chai, do any physical activity or hang out at clubs? मतलब ऐसा कुछ है या फिर you're just muddled up in assignments and classes and grades?
I wish I could say I'm not muddled up, but yes, I am. But yeah, I definitely go out. मतलब week all off. मतलब अभी midterms है मेरा. अभी midterm week चल रहा है तो midterms and final weeks are very stressful. मतलब हद से ज़्यादा. But other than that, we take some time out. I and my roommates and we go out. Indian restaurants है यहाँ पे काफी ज़्यादा. Cafeterias भी, yeah, there are like nice vintage coffee shops. We go there. And you mentioned, I think, did you say,
A coffee or chai person, I just mentioned.
oh, that thing? I'm neither actually. I hate coffee and I never tasted chai, so I don't know.
Like, why? Like, you're originally from Mumbai, na?
Yeah, I'm from
So,
Mumbai, but I don't know. I used to have coffee when I was in school. I mean, दो तीन बार. I'm not like addicted to it or मुझे चाहिए ही सुबह सुबह. It's not like that. So I'm like easygoing person. I don't have milk. I don't have chai. I don't have coffee, but I can have it.
okay, Tanvi, so it was nice
Is
talking.
it weird?
ना it's not weird. Like, सबकी अपनी अपनी preferences होती है, eating preferences होती है. It's nice कि someone is like completely different and you're not actually totally dependent on caffeine because like that can totally mess up your system. किसी भी चीज़ पे बहुत ज़्यादा dependent
Yeah,
होना, it's not good.
that's true.
Thanks a lot, Tanvi, for coming here, and I hope कि आप अपने design से you keep inspiring others and you keep making good UI UX design जिससे कि हमारी कोई application होगी तुम्हारी so I get user interface experience. So how different is UI UX and the difference between UI UX and service designing? Like before wrapping up.
It's very different. There's nothing similar between two. मुझे लगता था बहुत similar है because
Design ना
service
same.
design हाँ वही similar है बाकी कुछ similar नहीं है वैसे तो. But before coming here I thought कि service design will have some of UI UX क्योंकि UI UX में I was interested इसीलिए मैंने service design लिया कि चलो design है दोनों same ही होगा but बहुत अलग है. Service design basically is you design services for an organization like its name. So basically अगर कोई organization है so you need to know all aspects of it, all the business models so that you can improve services for the business, for the organization and as well as the consumers. So basically it's a business model. It's designing services legit. And services, they are everywhere. Uber bhi service hai, cafeteria bhi service hai, everything is a service, right? So we are everywhere. And UI UX क्या होता है? It's more of like improving an experience for the user of your application. That's UI UX. But service design, it's improving it for everybody, the provider and the consumer both.
ओके, जस्ट वन लास्ट क्वेश्चन बिफोर रैपिंग अप. जैसे हम
Yeah,
अक्सर लोगों के घर में देखते हैं कि जो जो उनका प्रोफेशन होता है उस हिसाब से उनका घर या फिर उनकी जो लिविंग स्पेस होती है वो होती है, तो उस हिसाब से सो डिड चूजिंग योर कोर्स एज इन सर्विस डिज़ाइन और योर प्रीवियस एक्सपीरियंस UI UX डिज़ाइन कुछ इसका इफेक्ट हुआ आपके आसपास के सराउंडिंग्स पे कि आपने अपने घर पे अपने रूम को आसपास ऐसे डिज़ाइन करा हो स्पेसिफिकली, या समथिंग यू ट्राई टू समथिंग क्रिएटिव with your furniture or on your wall or or even on your PC, लैपटॉप, कंप्यूटर या फोन में?
नहीं यार एक्चुअली नहीं हुआ वैसे मतलब नॉट इन द 3D एक्चुअली बट एक चीज हुई है कि whenever I go at some place या कहीं भी wherever I'm existing at that point I am very present in the moment. मैं हर एक चीज काफी
बारीकी
नोटिस
से
करने
नोटिस
लगी
करती
हूँ.
हैं.
हाँ, क्योंकि आई एम ट्राइंग टू फाइंड माई थीसिस टॉपिक एक्चुअली नाउअडेज, तो मैं हर चीज नोटिस करती हूँ कि यार कहीं ना कहीं मुझे मेरा थीसिस टॉपिक मिल जाएगा कि ये सर्विस को इम्प्रूव कर सकती हूँ। तो आई थिंक आई बिकम मोर इन ट्यून विद द एनवायरनमेंट कि आई हैव एन आई फॉर एवरीथिंग काइंड ऑफ। बट नहीं, वैसे डिजाइनर्स का वो होता है ना, एक परसेप्शन होता है लोगों का, डिजाइनर है बहुत क्रेजी कलरफुल, नहीं वैसे नहीं, अभी तक तो नहीं हुई हूँ, होपफुली हो जाऊंगी इन द फ्यूचर।
आई होप कि आप होपफुली फ्यूचर में हो जाओ, एंड इन द नियर फ्यूचर आई होप कि यू आर एबल टू पुल द ऑल नाइटर एंड होपफुली
Thank
survive your
you.
classes on time.
Sure, thank you so much.
Phew, that was a lot to unpack. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope it helped you take your one small step towards greatness. This amazing treasure of knowledge and wisdom was brought to you all courtesy of CareerWith. CareerWith is an overseas education consultancy which strives to unlock the gateway to your global education dreams. See ya soon!